So we're going to go get ourselves some chanterelle mushrooms. And it is the end of July in Minnesota. We're about 50 miles north of Minneapolis. And what I'm doing now is just sort of getting a lay of the land a little bit here. I'm looking for high spots and ridges. And after I find that, we're going to narrow it down to some trees that they like to associate with. And you can see here where we certainly have a few hills. So, it's good terrain. And when I find the right spot, we'll pick it back up. So, you can see we're walking up a narrow trail here. And uphill. But, if you look around here, we're not going to start to look because there's a lot of, that's aspen. There's some beech in here, which is good. Some birch over here. It's not really the sort of trees we're looking for. So we're going to continue down the road a little bit here, but and get to the top of this ridge, and hopefully we'll find some more suitable trees. So we've come around the corner, and there's a little lowland right in front of us, but then going back up again. And if you look ahead, you'll see that that's a real solid grove of older oak, and white oak specifically, which is exactly what we're looking for around here. So we're gonna go in the woods just up ahead there. Okay, so we're gonna step off the path and just start heading in the woods here, trying to avoid the buckthorn. And already, up ahead I can see it looks perfect where we want not very much underbrush. And a little bit of wispy grass around. And you don't want the light levels to be totally shaded. Kind of a mix. And already here's a couple of chanterelles. And you can see one there coming up off under the leaves. And I'm sure as I start taking a little more time to pan around, there's probably several more. We're on kind of a slope going down here, and we're directly next to a big white oak. If you notice, there's like a carpet of this small leafed, kind of flimsy, vine-like stuff, and it really provides great cover. It gets a little bit of light, but not too much, and they sustain themselves much longer in their growth cycle. If you look right over here, they love to hide under this stuff. And these are in real good shape here. A little tough to see through, but if you get kind of low to the ground, you got a good 10-yard field of vision at that point, and with the color, you'll make them out. And again, same general area. There's a really a beautiful looking chanterelle here at the base of this oak. It's really in perfect condition. Nice size. Over here is kind of an interesting one. This is actually the dying fruit body of a rucola, and on top of it is a parasitic mushroom growing on top of the dead mushroom. Here is an absolute pig. That is a big chanterelle there. That's a big one. It's in great shape, perfect shape. You see the how the gills are running down the stem. Very much an apricot smell to them. Really distinctive. The color is egg yolk yellow, but there's a wide variance, and in fact today even I found some white chanterelles. So most typically though they're a close shade of egg yolk yellow. And here again you see that parasite, that parasitic mushroom growing on a dead ruchula. Over here is a jelly fungus, and you see it's enveloped this this bunch of grass here. And a little further over are two really nice looking hedgehog mushrooms, or sweet tooth, depending upon what part of the country you might be in. And those are easily identifiable by the teeth rather than gills that hang down from under the cap there. A really delicious edible. So here we are again, we're at the base of a hill, and there is a small pond over here, or a slough I guess, and you see it's pretty well shaded, but you see the little spots of sunlight peeking through. And right in front of us here is a nice patch where they're all in really good shape. They've had some cover to keep them out of that direct light. And same things in common. Slope, white oak, like you see right in front of us here. You know, there's a few miscellaneous trees in here too, but the larger trees, all the larger trees you're seeing are white oak. This is actually some elm, this little stuff in front of us. Very little ground cover, you know, some leaf debris. It's pretty loamy soil. Not too much sand, you don't want too much sand. So I mean, those are really the deals. White oak, slope, slope off a ridge. Great if you got some water nearby. Some of that nice rich soil, not too sandy, and out of the direct light, preferably with that ground cover. You see that light green ground cover. You see here's a nice chanterelle just kind of hiding under some grass here, but next to it is another bolete. Not a king, by the way. That there's a bitter. Here's another nice example of hedgehog, or sweet tooth. And I don't know if you can see with this crappy film, but downward hanging teeth rather than gills. They're a very firm texture, and if you look here on the bottom, you see what I mean by teeth rather than gills. Another good one, another good eater. And we're in a similar area, but not with so much oak. There's more beech in here, and so there's not so many chanterelles, but if you slowly pan around, you'll see a glimmer of orange there. And those are two lobster mushrooms, which is a parasitic mushroom. Typically the host is a ruchula, and the parasite takes over and turns them into this beautiful looking thing. It has a really unique texture for a mushroom. It's quite firm, almost a little crunchy, even after it's cooked. And doesn't taste like lobster, but as you can see, the color is very similar to a cooked lobster tail. And those are certainly on the top of the list as far as choice edibles. So we'll take a few of those too.